Hello everybody, this is Colby Kowalski with Kowalski Does, and today we are going to be talking about my new SLA printer, also known as a resin printer. It is the Elegoo Mars, and there it is right there. And we're going to go over some of the prints that I've been doing and one of the projects that I'm working on, a couple different projects with the printer. So the first one, the first print of course, is the Rook that comes as a test file. As you can see, it's got a staircase in there. It's got some wording. Here it says Elegoo Mars. Came out really good. Just a cool print. It does two of them. Sticks up on the build plate like that. And I gave the other one to my brother-in-law because he's really into he likes seeing my prints and stuff like that. So that's that one. Another one I did, of course, you know, with everything that's going on, and the Mandalorian that just came out. So season one's in it finished. There is the, as they say, Baby Yoda, or the child. This one came out really good. I've done a couple of them on my Ender 5s, which is a filament printer. Still learning the supports. Got to sand those off, but otherwise it came out pretty good. I'm not really that good at painting, so I won't be painting these unless I just spray paint them. This one was supposed to be Gizmo, but the file said Gizmo, but everybody that I've shown it to tells me that it's that googly-eyed gremlin when Gizmo gets in the food and the water after midnight. It's the crazy-eyed one. Now this one I printed right to the bed, and when getting him off, I chipped, I don't know if you can see it there, I chipped his little toe. Little toe chipped right off. But that's fine. Just take a little paper clip and a little bit of filament and just put it right on there and then cure it, and it'll be fine. So this one came out pretty good too. One of the projects that I'm working on is for my mother-in-law. She likes deer. So this one I actually printed in 3 different pieces to make sure that it came out just right. So I printed the head, as you can see right here, is one of the lines with these, and then the body, these are the antlers, and then the legs. And then what I did when I put it together is I took some wood filler. Let's see if I have it. This stuff where it's pink and then it turns white when it dries. So it worked really good. I got to do one more. Got a couple of little areas right here where I've got to smooth it out, put a little bit more on there, and then I'll just spray paint this. But she'll love it. Came out pretty good. It's so hard when you do these as opposed to like even something like this that comes off of the filament printer, where you can see each individual layer line. The detail on these is just so crazy that it just looks super smooth. A couple areas here on the ears where the supports were, just sand that off, make that a little smooth. These are some of the tools that I use. This is one of the scrapers that comes with the Elegoo Mars. Just getting it under there. This one is the one that I use the most. This is it represents like a razor blade, but it's plastic. So you get these little plastic ones right here, and you get a box of these. Foshio, I think is what it's called. Got these on Amazon, and there's like 100 little blades in here and a couple other holders for the razor blades, but they just pop off and pop back on. And it's actually, because it's pretty flexible, it's been nice to be able to get it under there on the print. And then of course I love these are silicone like food trays. I got one here holding the Elegoo Mars, and then this is the project. So the red pieces are from my Ender 5, and these are just some of them. I got a couple more pieces to go. One of these pieces are like way too big to fit on the Mars, Elegoo Mars, but one of these prints takes 19 hours, so I haven't done it yet. I've been doing a lot of the PPE, doing the face shields. Here's one of them. So been printing the face shields and the ear savers non-stop on the Ender 5s. So I haven't had time for a 19-hour print on there. So these are the tune bullets from the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And these are done on the Elegoo Mars. And the detail is just ridiculous. Still got some cleanup to go. You know, a little sanding. These are where the supports were. This basically printed like this. So there's one of them. Here's another one of them. So, I mean, you can just see like how smooth these are. You would have to get like under crazy close just to see the layer lines. So each one of these probably took anywhere from 4 to 5.5 hours. I wanted them to be substantial and to have some weight to them. So these are not hollow. None of these are hollow. So of course they take a little bit more filament or resin to print. But the sheer detail and the weight of them is super nice. It's a classic movie. Great movie. And I just figured I'd go on here and I'd show you one of the projects that I'm currently working on. Great thing about it, well, I mean, not great, but I can't really print any PPE on the resin printer. So, because, you know, it'll break and resin's not good for the skin. So you got to coat it with a bunch of clear coat and stuff like that, where I can just print and print and print and print on the Ender 5 and the ear savers are fine. So I finished, this was the last one I finished. It was the last one I needed to complete all the tune bullets. Now, some of the white in there, from what I've read, is that if you don't get the resin clean enough, and you dip it in the acetone, it's a little residue left over. Some of these, what I was doing before I could actually, I found a bottle in one of our guest bathrooms of 70% isopropyl rubbing alcohol just a couple of weeks ago. So I was using that, but before that I was using Mean Green Super Strength in a pickle bucket with a toothbrush and then rolling it in acetone for a quick rinse. But since now that I've got the alcohol, I've been doing the alcohol with the toothbrush and then in the acetone, letting it dry, and then putting it in my cure station, which is a metal Home Depot paint bucket with UV light strip taped to the inside, setting on top of, I've got some sort of block, like a floating shelf that I wrapped in tin foil, and then it's got a solar powered turner, lazy Susan in there, turntable. So I put on there, and usually about 10 minutes is all these need. And like even like on that, like you can't, I mean, yeah, there's some of the supports that need to be sanded off, but it's hard to see any layer lines on there. They're just so nice and crisp and clear. And so that's my current project. And tell me what you think. Tell me if you like this movie, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Tell me which one of these bullets is your favorite. And when I get the gun done and get the project all wrapped up, I'll do another video on that. Well, thanks for watching and stay safe and have a great day.